So folks, just let the noisy deputy mayor in the chief seat.
Yeah. Reminds me of one of our first meetings 9 years ago when you guys turned up.
Yes.
Started it all off.
Okay. I'd like to take the opportunity to open the meeting with a karakia. For those that don't know me, I don't have a nameplate for over here just yet. My name's Steve Manners. I'm the Chief Operating Officer for Tasman District Council, and I'll be acting as the lead officer for Golden Bay Community Board for this triennium. So if I may, I will open with a karakia. Tuia ki runga, tuia ki raro, tuia ki roto, tuia ki waho, tuia tātou te tangata, kei te kaupapa o te hui nei, kei te kaupapa o te rangi nei. Maori ora ki a tātou katoa. Bind above, bind below, bind within, bind beyond. Bind us, the people, to the purpose of our meeting, to the purpose of the state, breathe life into us all.
Thank you.
So before we begin, some housekeeping matters. As I mentioned before, I'm sitting here in the chair for the inaugural meeting. The first order of business is for us to elect a chair, and at that point I'll pass the chairpersonship over to that person, and they will continue to do so for the rest of the meeting. The chair may choose to ask our deputy mayor and board member Hutt from the Motueka Community Board to step up to the table if that's their wish, and we'll see how that plays out as we go through the meeting. I would remind people that we have got Zoom attendees on the call. The media is present. The meeting is being recorded. We're not live streaming, are we? The meeting is being recorded and will be available on the council's YouTube channel. I would ask that any Zoom attendees keep their camera off and their microphone muted. For those of you that are new to the centre, including myself, trying to remember where the publicly accessible toilets are, askings
Across the road.
across the road.
In the park.
There are none in the
Across
building
the
here.
road. There's none in the building that are publicly accessible.
Thank you, Grant. And in the event of emergency, drop, cover, hold. If we need to exit the building, follow the green signs and we assemble in the park over the road.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much indeed. So, first item for me on the agenda is apologies. I believe we've got a late apology for Mark Hume. Are there any other apologies that we should record? Could I have someone move those? Judy Butler and seconded, Clarissa. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Against, carried. Okay, so on to reports. The election of Golden Bay Community Board Chair for 2025-28. This report is in the name of Robin Byrne, and we will take it in parts. Do you want me to carry on with what I'm going to do, or are you going to introduce the paper first? Cool.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so as Steve said, this is going to be taken in parts. First of all, we're going to ask you to approve the system of voting as outlined in the paper. And after that, Steve will call for nominations for a chairperson. And once the chairperson has been elected, they will assume the chair and they will call for nominations for the deputy. So we've got three steps involved in this report. I will take the report as read. Does anybody have any questions about the report or the process? No? Lovely. It's fairly straightforward. And I could ask Steve for so clauses 1 and 2.
Okay, so can I please have a mover and seconder for clauses 1 and 2? Moved. Clarissa.
Second.
Seconded, Grant Knowles. All those in favour? Against? Carried. And with that said, can I please call for nominations for the position of chairperson, and for each nomination I will ask if there's a second.
I would like to nominate Grant Knowles.
Seconder? Second. Are there any other nominations? All those in favour of Grant being chair of the Golden Bay Community Board?
Aye.
And against? Carried.
Thank you.
Congratulations, and I will pass the chair over to you.
Thank you. Just grab the running sheet. Well, where are we up to? 4.
I'm going to call for nominations.
Yeah,
for
just let me find
chair.
mine. Okay, I guess the next part is to call for nominations for the deputy chair. Do I have anyone who'd like to be the deputy chair or like to nominate someone for deputy chair? Celia,
I'd like to nominate Axel.
do I have a seconder for that?
This little snag. Because
Okay.
there's only 5 of us.
Yep.
And there's 2 people who want to do it.
Mhm.
We're happy about that. And I second both of these nominations.
I don't know if that's
No, well, any other possible nominations?
we can still do something in the with an amendment to it, so we can still do it. If we
Yeah.
just
So I think if we have 2 nominations,
Mm.
so a mover and a seconder.
Yeah.
So those nominations, Lee, you chip in here if you think so.
Yeah.
And you've had the discussion about doing a review in 18 months.
Yeah.
Where you would appoint a second chair.
Yeah.
A deputy chair rather.
Yeah.
So I think we need to have the nominations on the table.
Yeah.
Okay. And
And then we can do an amendment to the recommendation. We can add something to the recommendation, noting that so elect so and so as deputy,
Yeah.
noting that a review of the position
Yeah.
will be done in 18 months with the view to appointing the alternate nomination.
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
okay.
Yeah.
So do I have
Okay.
a seconder?
So I can second that.
Okay. And I would like to nominate Melissa Brennan, deputy chair.
Yeah, also.
So, no, I mean, we've got.
Yeah.
Celia nominated
Yeah,
Axel.
yeah.
I nominated that.
That's right.
Grant
Yeah.
nominated Clarissa.
And Henry seconded both.
Yeah, we got it.
Henry
We
seconded
got it.
Okay.
All right.
Henry seconded both. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now we need an amendment to the
Yeah. Hey, can we get those?
little bit unorthodox.
Okay. So, I'm not this one.
So it'll be something like that. Elect Space as deputy chairperson of the Wellbeing Committee Board with the alternate nominee, which we review after 18 months.
Yeah. Okay.
It's the unsuccessful nominee.
We have 2. Have you had a discussion about who would go first and second anyway?
Not really.
Okay.
We've got a coin on the table.
You've got a coin on the
Probably not going to do.
Yeah, so we're going
We
to
need
do
to
that.
Steve to probably.
Because we're going to end up
Oh, yeah, I can do it for
with
sure.
Oh, we just got to make sure we've got the resolution down first.
It's got 2 heads.
I take the TV head.
It's got to be in line with the voting system.
Yeah.
So we actually have to vote.
Appointed by, I can't remember, off the top of my head, what was that? No.
No, we have to first of all
It's got
vote,
a thing.
then we do it to a coin toss or another. I think that's what it says in the.
I can fix this up.
Well, why don't we coin toss and then roll to put it?
So Axel was nominated first, so the vote needs to go. You need to put that first.
Okay,
Yeah.
so all in favour of Axel being the deputy chair?
Aye.
Okay, and all those,
might be going down the track. I would suggest actually that you perhaps make the decision on who you would want to appoint first.
Yeah.
And that's the amendment that we put in. We have Alex that person, okay?
could we,
And then
That's exactly what I
note
think.
that the other
we need to
person
adjourn the meeting
will
to do that.
be in a review. I think you've had that chat.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's what the resolution needs to be. And I think actually, rather than appoints,
Points.
yeah, yeah. Instead of elects,
Yeah.
we go appoints, because it's not really.
That's right.
What do you think, Lee? Very nice and complicated.
No,
one.
some of
Some of
the method of voting that we've chosen
Yeah.
says that we need to elect.
Yeah.
So,
It does actually, yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But I wonder if what we're doing is we're going to elect two
Yeah.
people and we determine who serves the first 18 months by a coin toss.
That's about right.
That's what I
To
would,
elect them,
Right.
yeah. You have to go.
because both nominees would then be elected as deputy chair. And then a coin toss determines who
Goes first.
Who goes first?
So who wants to be Winston Peters and who wants to be David
Lee,
Seymour?
what do you think is a good way to do
the
that?
constitutional expert here is going to tell us.
Constitutional law expert. I suppose through the chair, before you get to the voting part, admitting I'm a little bit late. Do you, as a group, have an understanding of who's going to be it for the next 18 months?
Not
You were going to
not
put
usually
up
we
coin
need to
toss.
make that decision.
That's
No,
that's the coin toss.
Decide who got that.
Right. I'm a little bit nervous about appointing two deputies.
No, I've said that you want to can't
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah, it's
There's
not
one as
code.
fine. It's
Yeah.
not code, deputy. Yeah, it is one of,
So I'm quite comfortable with the resolution that you've added up there.
yeah.
Uh,
But we do need to-
although I would get rid of who the alternatives.
Yeah.
With a view to appointing X.
Just-
Yeah, so I'd say it's been reviewed in 18
Okay.
months.
Yeah.
We've taken months,
Yeah.
full stop.
So that's just going to have to be an agreement.
Well, means in 18 months' time, there'll be a resolution to appoint a deputy chair, whether it's reappointing or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll just be going through this process again in 18 months' time.
Except simpler.
Yeah, hopefully.
So
Cut it down to 6 months.
So we're actually
You need to go.
electing the deputy chair for
18 months.
Yes.
That's correct.
Yes.
So just let
Well,
The addition will be
Included
removed. That, so
or
that's
in-
the addition there.
Yeah.
And then it will be. what's in
Yeah,
it,
So that's it.
Yeah.
So what that means is that as we stand now, we've got two nominees, both of whom have been seconded.
Yep.
And now we need to, and we've chosen voting system B. So according to voting system B, that means that system B is a majority vote system, first past the post and requires a successful candidate to get more votes in the county during the single voting round. This report recommends that system B is adopted. So what that tells me is that we now hold a vote for each of those nominees, and the one with the highest number of votes is elected as deputy chairperson for the first 18 months. Yeah.
Okay.
Through you, Chair, can we toss a coin to decide who we vote for?
Well, so I don't think we need to.
No,
Well,
no.
I mean, that was the whole point of the topic, coin.
Yes, there are 5 of you. and
Yeah. So you
you
need
need
to
to
vote.
vote one or the other.
Hmm.
So one will get 3 here.
So
through the chair, maybe a way forward would be a slight adjournment.
That's what I asked.
Where you could have this discussion and then come back.
I would say.
That's what
Because it might be that one or other of you chooses to abstain to ensure that there's a majority to reflect the will of the community board. Yeah. So you could, yes, you can't do the coin toss again. Right.
Oh, no, you can.
In the meeting.
Actually,
not part of the
if
voting.
there are 2 votes for
Yeah.
the first one or 2 votes for the second one, then the requirement is actually to
do something
do
like
so.
that. Straws,
Yeah.
straws or coin. Or
Yeah,
We don't
that's
use
where,
the
Happy that, yep.
would you like to?
Okay,
adjourn
so-
or-
Okay, so I will call for all those in favour.
Well, if I abstain, because you've nominated, or so you've
Oh,
nominated
you-
Axel,
You seconded, so you.
I've seconded both of them. Yeah. But then if I abstain from voting, then it's a coin toss.
And so it's kind of second from the pro forma to get them on the table.
Which is
Yeah.
okay.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
Not common, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll abstain.
Okay, so all right, all those in favour of Axel.
Aye.
2. All those against. Those abstaining. Okay. All those in favour of Marissa.
No, hang on. No,
No, you're abstaining.
He's abstaining.
I'm abstaining.
You need
Right,
to vote.
you need to vote.
Yeah, sorry. Very confusing, isn't it?
Sometimes it's easier with show of hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yep.
There we are.
It's 2.
Yeah.
So there are
Now
2
you
votes,
have to-
2 votes, and Steve gets to flip the coin.
I was going to say.
Yeah,
I
somebody
think
else
so.
has to-
Absolutely.
Who's who?
So, who was nominated first? Axel was nominated first.
Yes.
That's a Kiwi.
That was easy.
Decision.
Right.
And
Now we can move forward
then
and
Perhaps I could just make a comment to the chair. I mean, that might have looked somewhat awkward to do that, but I think what you've reflected here is that the desire for you to have a shared chairpersonship of the board, and I think that actually reflects positively on the way that the board wants to work together.
Yep.
And so whilst it might have been a little bit problematic to work through the rules,
Yeah.
what you've actually done here is come up with something that I think shows how well you guys want to work together as a community. So I'd like to celebrate that.
thank you. We didn't rip each other's eyes out. Just
No.
right.
That's good.
Okay, so have we passed that resolution? Yes, I guess we have. I think. We go on to the explanation of the laws. I think that's code of conduct, 8.2.
And their conduct.
Declarations of interest.
So declarations of interest on that one. Code of conduct.
Yeah, I think we want to list out a few things here.
Yeah,
Mr. Chair.
I don't know what my. I'm on the wrong side. Oh, okay. Thank you. Right. Any declarations? Nothing? Okay. Reports.
And then we're on to
Is there any?
8.2.
8.2.
8.2. Right, okay, got it. Explanation of the laws, explaining the elected members. I'll take it as, actually, that's probably possibly your report.
So,
So,
taken through.
can you?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So, through the chair, the local government Act requires that the inaugural meeting of council that the members be given an explanation of the laws that affect their conduct. It's considered good practice for this same or similar report to be going to community board members as well. I will take the report as read and am available to answer any questions.
So any questions? Right, shall we? All those in favour of the
I'll have it removed.
sector?
Yeah.
Excellent. All those in favour?
Aye.
Yes. Carried. Right. The next one is date of the first ordinary Golden Bay Community Board meeting following the inaugural meeting. Robin.
So under the Government Act, that's one of the items that you are required to do today in your inaugural meeting. And we're recommending that Monday, the 15th of December, is the first ordinary meeting for the Golden Bay Community Board. And any questions on that?
Yeah.
Report?
Is there any questions?
I'm just making the comment that we've already got a session on 1st of December. Is that right?
The workshop?
The
Yes.
workshop?
Workshop.
Yeah, right.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm wondering when we have discussed public forums, when would we start with that, and how does that fit in with the first ordinary meeting?
The first order, and so all of the meetings that we are going forward are classed as ordinary meetings there. So, and public forums will be an item on the agenda going forward. It's just your inaugural meeting.
The informal ones, they're
No,
different.
the formal.
They're different.
Strictly that.
These are your. Are you talking about the informal?
Yes, so
Ah.
that's separate.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's
Yeah.
the drop in.
So-
Yes.
So what I'm wondering is when
Yeah.
we start with that,
Yeah.
and
Yes,
if we want to start with that this year, then that might impact on the
I
first
think there's
ordinary
items to be completed
Yeah.
as to why the first ordinary meeting needs to be.
Yeah, we're kind of recommending that,
Because the last one was
yeah.
September.
Yeah, that's right. So we might want to finish the year by having a proper meeting.
Yep.
And then we start next year into your alternate 6 weekly cycles of the the 3 weeks.
So can we get that changed from, say, if it doesn't work on a Monday, can we get the dates changed, and do we do that in our first ordinary meeting, or can we start that process now? Because you'll want to set the staff will want to set the meeting calendar as early as possible, and I think we probably need to have that discussion about what would be the best day, whether it is a Monday still, whether Tuesday is better, whether it be the first, second, or third. And I'd like to, for that reason, I'd like to see how it works with Motueka Community Board, because obviously we don't want to clash. There is another clash which will come up later in our meeting, which I'll talk about now, and that is the Mana Whenua Ki Mohua meetings are on exactly the same schedule as what we're on at the moment, which means we'll never be able to go to their meetings to present, because there's going to be a different way of doing it with them. So we need to kind of discuss that.
Sure. So those meetings, are 6 weekly?
They're 6 weekly on the
from
same
today
Monday,
or
exactly the same
Okay.
Monday.
exactly the same Monday.
Yeah.
So if we were to, so we have your first ordinary meeting, and
Yeah.
which is actually in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Mondays. So your council sets the schedule, and we are working on that calendar right now. And I think that, so typically this board has met on a Monday, and I think one of the impacts on that is actually the council calendar, and that resourcing to get our people over here, get up, all the staff that are required for the meetings. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays are quite busy days. They are, sort of council meeting days, workshops, joint committees, and things like that. And I think that possibly may have been one of the factors, apart from also that Food and Water meet on a Monday.
I believe that Tuesdays are also the date the senior management team meet with CEO, and that was an awkward.
That's right, they do,
So that-
exactly,
that
which has
didn't
also
really-
impacted on the
which has
Golden
also
Bay community.
had an
Board.
impact on us.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Mondays might be for the 6 weeks moving forward from the 15th of
That's
December
right.
will be the 26th of January. Which
And
is
so,
the fourth month.
is
and what I'm thinking about is with regards to your drop-in informal meeting.
Yeah.
You could have that on any day. because there's no staff involved in doing that for you, in fact. So that would allay the rotation of it, because you're going to swap your rotation of your 6 weeks. It'll be from the December date as opposed from this date. So the other meeting you would be able to attend.
Although
If you didn't.
26th of January, do we have? We normally don't have one in
No,
January.
we don't usually.
So that's
Yeah.
so
We
would
can
that
look at
flip to the beginning of February and therefore change this?
We could see what we can do about that. We could see what can we do on a Monday in February, second Monday and third Monday, or we could see what we could do. I know that first week is probably holiday anyway, but so we could actually work out when does your year start.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, I think the avoiding the clash with MKM is a very good idea.
Yeah.
I missed out on my induction to the Marae because I was presenting to this community board in August, for example.
Okay, so yes.
I'm just checking, confirming those dates with MKM, so I can get that back to you. The next one I've got is 8th of December.
Okay, so that's good.
So we go 15 and then we do 6 weekly from that.
It should be
Alright.
okay.
Count should be
okay.
But I
February
can
start.
confirm those probably this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other thing too is that there can be a certain amount of flexibility when things happen. So take 26th of January, for example, if there's not sufficient items to put together an agenda, but we know that January is a relatively quiet time. It is for council meetings as well as community board. So we can be pragmatic about what we do in that January, February period. And if you like, we can have a meeting out of cycle to make sure that we've got an agenda that's sufficient to get everybody here and have a meeting, and be that late January or sometime in the early couple of weeks in February. We can do that with enough notice to the community. And thereafter, you get into a much more regular cadence. As you guys have just seen, this is a really unusual part of the start of the training, and when you're sorting out all of your standing orders and how you're going to operate. So there's a little bit of a muddle as you get into the cycle of events. But for those of you that have been on community boards before, you know that soon after January, then things start getting into a regular pattern.
Exactly.
What it is that we do.
Yeah. So okay. So is everybody happy, first of all, that we keep to the Monday and keep to the schedule? Does the Monday work for everyone?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So
That's
can
right.
I have a mover for that? If there's no other questions for a minute.
Yeah.
A second. Henry, second. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried. Okay. We're going to take a while to get through all this at this meeting. I think it's really important to get it right from the very start. Okay, here's our fun one, the appointments for council. So
Just got a question. I'd just like to ask the chair as to what his how you plan to, what sort of procedure you plan to have for board members speaking.
Good point. You put hands up and I'll write it down and I'll make a list of as I see you. So, okay,
Right.
and that way.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I do.
If I could, Mr. Chair, it's usually to the deputy chair. Well, because quite often the chair's scanning the meeting and doing the meeting.
Yep.
You'll quite often see that the responsibility of jotting down names falls to the deputy chair to make sure that there's a list that you keep going.
Yep.
As Deputy Mayor Murray found out the other day.
Brilliant. Hey, thank you very much.
Are you happy to keep jotting down the names for today?
Okay, so I take this report as read. There are going to be a few changes and a few amendments to this, quite a few, and a few questions. I'm just going to start it out. The Council Standing Committee, obviously the chair has full council. We've got Strategy, Finance and Performance Committee, and we have an Environmental, Regulatory and Operations Committee. Now you also have another committee that's in that Trinity Forum, and I would like to appoint somebody from our board onto that as well. So if we can add that to it, please. And
Through you, Chair, I'd just suggest that perhaps we look at sharing these
Yeah,
roles as well?
That's exactly what I was going to just bring up.
It's a good.
So I'm wondering if we can do a rotation of these, because there's three and there's three of you. And if you take a year each of each of them, it gives you a really good understanding, in my mind, it gives you a really good understanding of overview of the whole of council's operations. So that whatever you do to start with is probably going to be 3 or 4 months of, whoa, okay. But once you start, if you move from, say, strategy and finance to environmental and regulatory, the process is no different, and you'll just get more information. So it's not going to be a huge learning curve, I don't think, if we can change that every year. So I'm just putting that out there as a possibility, as Henry suggested. So what do other people think?
I'm happy for that. Give us a bit of a full range of council.
Yeah. We are able to do that. That's not as formal as the last process, is it?
No.
So that's what I'd like to do. So
Through the chair, apart from anything else, these meetings are public meetings.
Yeah.
They will be live streamed. So you don't necessarily need to travel over to Richmond to take part in them. You can take part in it as an observer, and through approaching governance, if you want to attend and be a Zoom attendee on those meetings, then you can do that too. So those sorts of options are open to you, and it doesn't necessarily need to be just the person whom you nominate, but you might nominate someone, for example, who then feeds back to the community board, the content of discussion and those sorts of things.
And sometimes those committees have quite relevant information for Golden Bay, and that's where it's really important for us to be around the table advice.
So presumably the community board appointee will have speaking rights at these committees, as we did last time. Not voting, but speaking rights.
So speaking rights is up to the chair,
Okay.
and I would expect they would give it.
It's usually the case. I have seen it not the case, but we won't go there.
But you're right, you're not a voting member, but you can speak as the problem.
So I put it to you, does anyone really passionately want to do strategy, finance and performance? Henry, you were on that last year, weren't you? Last term, triennium.
Well, it was
Slightly different.
slightly different, but probably there was more systems.
Yeah.
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 Well, I mean, if we rotate, then it doesn't really matter what we start off.
True.
That's
That's right.
We
So
rotate.
you want strategy?
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm quite happy.
Excellent. Wilkes.
Good.
Environmental and regulatory. Environmental and regulatory.
I'm happy to put my name in the board.
Henry?
No,
Okay, Larissa. And so it leaves you information forum. Yep. Brilliant. Okay. Now here we go. Appoints the following representatives to community organisations for 3 years, and I think most people will keep the 3 years on these because it's community stuff, which I think is really important, that we need to keep that continuity. This is something pressingly, I can't do this anymore. So, Baynham Hall Management Committee. Who wants to travel out to Baynham? I don't know. You can? Okay. I have to say that a lot of the ones like the hall committees, they only really use meet maybe once a year. So it's not a huge amount of work. Following the area school. Axel? Yep. Anyone else? Okay.
Just if I can interrupt, Mr. Chair, point out too that appointed members, so your 2 ward councillors can be your representative on these boards. And looking at what you had previously, certainly Councillor Hunter, Councillor Butler were attendees on some of these things. So it doesn't need to be just.
One of my things is we have a member away today, and I don't want to just kind of leave him with the dregs.
Especially
so it's actually really important. So I am wondering if we can actually put some of this off till our next meeting.
Discussion.
You've had a discussion with it?
Well, no, I
Oh.
haven't, but I'm just saying, Chair, that maybe we need to actually discuss among ourselves who would like to do the positions.
Yeah.
I mean, I've made lots of dots next to the various line items that I might be interested in. That's one thing, but I don't really want to just be the first to raise my hand and go there. So I think a discussion is probably a good way of going about it.
Yeah.
And the other thing is there are certainly groups who could or should be on this list and who aren't.
And the groups are on this list who shouldn't be.
And that as well. So maybe that, yeah, as you say, maybe it might be better to have Mark in the mix as well, and then.
If I could make a suggestion, your first ordinary meeting is only 3 weeks away.
Yeah.
It's perhaps an opportunity for the community board to get together as a group and actually fill this out, for want of another word.
Yeah.
And then we can put it through with a report to
I
the
would
first
consider
meeting.
that. Yep, because it is going to leave one member out. So can we just pass this motion with
Standing committee.
just the standing committee
Sure thing.
and you table the other one?
Do we need to change the resolution at 3? To say we're going to come back to it?
You could
With
just
the
leave,
chair. When the standing committee's meeting, and they are in the next,
not until next year,
so
the whole
you could
thing.
leave the whole thing to loan the
To loan
table
the
and
table.
do it.
That's a good idea.
Well,
The whole-
yeah, we could.
Can I
Yes.
ask a question?
Yeah.
What happens if we want to add or remove? Is that within
Yeah.
our capacity to
Yeah.
do that while it's on the table?
Yeah.
Do we need to get, whose permission do we need to seek to add groups to? Like, obviously you've got to review it and see whether or not that it's worthy of them being on there.
I think the,
Or is it completely?
possibly the group should be approaching council to, and it would depend on the group's, MOU or whatever they've used to set up their group.
There's a few that don't
Yeah.
exist anymore. And can we just delete
We
them
can just
now?
delete
Are
them
we
now.
able
That's
to
right.
delete that now?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
And new groups will come along all the time. So there's certain requirements that they've got to feel like incorporated society and rah. Yeah.
The Dock Community Forum doesn't exist.
No, that's possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And the Golden Bay Community Centre is actually Mahua Social Services. It doesn't have down here the Golden Bay Work Centre Trust, and I know that was kind of like two together.
Yeah, Chair, could we just clarify whether some of these groups get council funding?
Yes, that's true.
And so does that mean that community board members or councillors are there because there is community council funding or not? I mean,
Yes.
I think that's something we really need to
I
clarify.
think those are
Like, what is the
concrete.
reason
Yep.
for members to actually attend or be liaison people with these organisations?
Yeah.
Why are we doing
Yeah.
it?
You do have to ask that question.
And I'd say it's because you choose to do it
Yeah.
because it's in the interests of the activities of the community board. Just because an organisation receives council funding doesn't either require or entitle them to have a liaison person appointed. It's something that you choose to do because of the nature of that group and the work that it does within the community.
So we're clear about that.
Yep, I think so. I think like the next one, Golden Bay Heritage Trust, it's the people that put the signs, the information plaques, and I was on that last time and they didn't want to know me, so they weren't interested. And because it was a Paul Sangster leftover from his day, and he was originally it, so we can take that one out, for instance. And we didn't give them any funding.
I wouldn't want to make any comment, but it may be that they have interest in the board, but they've also got an interest in who represents the board on their group. So in a polite way, I'm saying they might not have wanted to know you, but they might have wanted to know Clarissa, for example, because that does happen in our
that's
community.
true.
So you need to make sure that you can reflect the type of engagement you have with these different groups, because it might vary and it might change over time too, because as we know, the nature of community groups change depending on who is a constituent. So the experience that you might have had last triennium doesn't necessarily dictate the experience that you might have this triennium, or vice versa for them.
Okay. I don't know who the honours committee is. Does anyone know who the honours committee is?
Is that a really leftover committee from the boards that were up in the column? The sporting boards, is that what that's about?
I'm just wondering if it's a leftover from the Gold Bay County Council.
Okay.
Actually,
Yeah,
Sounds like it.
Boards
Yeah.
that were in the column.
Yeah.
The sporting boards.
Yeah. So that may be one to take away. I mean, obviously the museum and promotions are heavily funded by council, and they get to stay. I don't think the Keep Golden Bay Beautiful. Yes.
yes. It's been mentioned that, in fact, Chair, I think you have mentioned that someone has approached you about wanting to have some gardens in public place, and that would mean that there could be perhaps a revival of Keep Golden Bay Beautiful. We did have Keep Golden Bay Beautiful branch here for a long, long time, and it was closed down and their funds were dispersed. But there's nothing to stop Keep Golden Bay Beautiful reviving again, and I would imagine that it would be under their organisation, that if somebody wanted to have, start to look after the gardens, I think it would be a great thing to start that up again. So that I think we need to just keep that live on the table.
That's fine.
So I could suggest, Mr. Chair, that this process could be part of the paper that comes back to your first meeting, because there will clearly be a bit of debate about what's in, what's out, what needs to be added, and so on. So if you're going to review the names, then if I could make the suggestion that you also review the organisations, and we'll come back through governance and get that to the 15th December.
I will ask Renee if possible. Minifet, there's some changes there. I don't know if you're aware of the changes that are proposed.
About not necessarily needing a liaison.
That's so we can take that off the table.
But I think that would be the idea around making sure that your meeting dates don't clash, so that you can attend each other's hilly when you do have items concerning each other. So just need to cross that out.
And then I would suggest you leave the paper to lie on the table in its entirety and revisit it. Use the next 2 weeks to revisit it so that we can get the paper compiled and out in time for the first ordinary.
So I did have a couple of questions that weren't on here, and I don't know if we're allowed to have them on here. So I don't know if there's any point in waiting, because otherwise we'll appoint some or might choose and it's irrelevant. But we've got civil defence, creative communities, community grants, community awards, animal control, and I'm just wondering if those subcommittees of council we get to have a representative of.
They are council representatives on those committees.
But no community board representatives.
Civil defence is actually only two. It's the 2 years. That's the civil defence group, and that's it. The other operational committees and animal control is a subcommittee.
Yep.
Yeah. No, so it would be. I think it's just a standing committee.
Okay.
Yeah. Doesn't mean you can't attend.
So creative communities is I'm the chair of that committee, and it has representatives from the community, from the arts councils. So those are the other people who make up that committee, arts council.
We don't need a community
board. No.
They actually, I think, because you do your discretionary funds and things, so those those committees are looking at similar funds for either the whole of Tasman or, say Richmond, things like that, aren't they? And the community boards actually administer their own
Yes.
discretionary
Yes,
funds.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, got
Yeah.
it. Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
Okay, no, thank you. And I just wanted that clarification going forward. So, okay, so we'll put this on the table and come back to it at our next meeting. Can I move that, we put that on the table? Axel, seconded? Oops. All those in favour?
Aye.
Carried. All right, where are we at?
8.5.
Yep, 8.5, adoption of Golden Bay. Standing orders. Right, now, yes, Robin, your report has been read, I'm sure, so please, shall we start?
So under the terms of reference for the Golden Bay Community Board, you are required to adopt standing orders at the beginning of the training. The standing orders were last adopted at the beginning of the previous training. The council has not adopted new standing orders because the government has decided that they're going to propose standing orders for all councils, one set, all councils, and it looks like also community boards. So we haven't proposed any changes. However, there is an amendment to this recommendation to do one small minor change, which we've found, thanks Axel for pulling that one up, that wasn't done in the last triennium, and it's something that probably should have been. It's to do with members that attend on Zoom or Teams counting towards the quorum. And the Local Government Act was updated a couple of years ago, post-COVID, post all of the emergency acts that allowed people to be on Zoom and attending meetings. So it was updated to allow for a quorum to be all members present, whether they're online or in person. So that's one that we're updating. The provision for the casting vote, you can decide if you want to have a casting vote. Our recommendation is that there is no provision for the casting vote as that aligns with the council standing order. And the choice of option B for debate is also recommended. Option B means that you can somebody can move and second a motion for discussion and debate, and somebody else can move an amendment and second an amendment. It means that it's not quite as formal and that you can speak to things again or down the track do a further amendment if required. So it's a little complex, but it's not as formal as option A. So that's what we're recommending.
Any questions? Next.
I also suggested that in Appendix 7, in the first clause, it seems that the word board is missing.
Yes, we can update that, Axel, because that's an administrative.
Okay.
So we can just, yeah.
It's got nothing to do with the standing order. Okay, good.
The other thing is we do expect in sort of the first quarter of the new year to have these be a new standing orders, and we'll be aware whether we have to do that. And 75% of you have to vote to adopt.
Celia.
Yeah, I'd just like to make a comment that we did review the standing orders quite exhaustively, actually, and I don't recall if it was in our last term or the term before. Remember, we went through it, in quite a lot of detail. So I personally am confident that the standing orders that we're adopting today actually don't need to be, reviewed. So because that was done.
My question to you is the amendment to clause 10, 10.18. Is that the same as what council had?
Yes,
Are they exactly the same?
Right,
So
yes.
that's no difference.
No difference.
I'm pretty sure, I'm going to look at Lee, I'm pretty sure that the government extended the emergency provision that was put in place for COVID. And I think it wasn't enshrined in legislation until after 2022 when these and Tasman Council's standing orders were adopted.
Yeah, it was definitely after 2022.
Okay.
It was probably about 2023 when the emergency ones ran out, and then this kicked in.
Okay, so we don't have to, as council, make a submission to government that what we are doing there is clause 10.1a, that finds its way into the next
Absolutely not. It is in the 10th up the standing orders.
Okay.
It is. Because it's in the act.
Okay.
Speaking to the amendment, the only concern I have with that is that all of a sudden we have everybody attending via Zoom and nobody's actually sitting on the table. That's my concern regarding that. I quite like that they physically have to be there to count for the quorum, but still get voting rights. That's
yeah, so the Local Government Act has been updated to reflect that you don't have to be physically present. I think this allows for, when we have these emergencies, which we often do, it allows for you to have a meeting, full stop. Yeah. And I think that has been reviewed. That's always, but it was a concern.
Yeah.
And it was absolutely a concern when that came out. I don't think that concern will come to place that everybody's going to do.
Well, just from experience, we having been in this position of being remote from council meetings, it's undesirable to be Zoom in. It's not of benefit, particularly to the member who's zooming in. So, but I can imagine the situation where maybe the Waitapu splashes,
That's 4 members.
and and so somebody could be zooming in from the outside, and if there's a flood. So I think it's I support the amendment as it is up there, and I feel confident that people would be wanting to be physically present.
Yeah, I guess that's trying to encourage it physically being in the room instead of just opting out to Zoom in because that's easier.
You pointed out the temptation, the ability is there for that to happen.
Yeah.
Again, my experience, particularly with council, but also with the Moraweka Community Board that I've had a bit of time on, attendance, particularly at community boards, actually is almost always 100%. Unless there's a reason why not. And I think it becomes a bit, could I use the term self-policing after a while, because the nature of the board is such that you want to get together.
When you always attend by when the media writes about you, they don't.
All right.
That's 1 second.
So I'll put that motion. Does somebody? I'm happy to move that. Somebody want to second that? All those in favour? Yes. Right. Financial report. Getting through it. Long way down, so you might have to scroll a bit.
Table of contents.
Hello, everybody. Paul Egan here from the management accounting team.
Thank you.
We all scrolled through to I think it's page 135 for the financial report.
Yeah.
I'll take that as a yes. Thank you, everyone. The report this month is quite simple and straightforward. I'll largely take it as read. The only real expenditure in there this point that's been recorded is routine stuff like member remuneration, reimbursements, and just some sundry board expenses around advertising, levies, etc. What I will say is that the larger items in the budget is discretionary funds, you're dealing with as you go through the year, and the other large one is board special projects. That is something which, yes, I would like to catch up with the board sometime in the near future to just see what their plans are and likely timetables around spending that so I can feed that into forecast and budgeting work that we're doing.
Thank you. That's a very good point, especially around the special projects. I think our new members probably need a wee bit of time to catch up on the special projects funds. Is there any questions? No? All right. Yes.
Sorry. Clarissa here. I'm quite keen to get meet with you and actually get a detailed overview of the finances. It kind of makes sense, but kind of doesn't. I don't see it as a thing to do here, but meet with.
Maybe that'd be good for all of us to have a bit of a workshop with you at some point, maybe before a meeting, so that we can have that understanding a little bit clearer.
Yes, I'm quite open to that, and it's a good opportunity to talk about not only the general stuff, but the special projects. So yes, I'm quite happy for that. I'm probably due to do a trip over to Golden Bay. So yeah, let's get together and work out a time that suits.
That's it. Yeah. Okay, that's good. Because it's we had an accountant on here last time, and he just explained it to us well. So yeah, be good to do that. Okay, so any other questions? All right, I'll put the motion. Does anybody? Okay, you'll move it. Thank you. You'll second it. Chris will second it. So Councillor Butler moved it, and all those in favour?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Now we have discretionary fund applications. We've got now those new members. We do have some money that we can give away. You might have read the report. Going up to $500. So let's look at. Is there any? We'll go with the first one, the Golden Bay Riding for Disabled. I'll take it you've all read the application. Any questions around that?
Just comment that it's a great cause and they do great work, and I support giving them the $500.
Anyone else? Okay. Can we do these both at once or separately?
So you can record your action and then put the resolution.
Yep.
So it might be to grant, and let's just say, for example, Golden Bay High School decline. Then you get those in the boxes and pass the resolution.
Okay, so I'm happy to grant that one.
Yeah.
And the Golden Bay High School, more than we've given in the past. Not that I'm against the idea. This is for the prize giving. Is it not usually 500? Well, it was a bit less, but I might be wrong. We haven't had one for Collingwood. That wasn't just Janice in this one, but we normally do. Okay. So is everyone happy to pass the Golden Bay High School one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we grant that. So so what do you want to?
We've added a couple more recommendations in there, which is typically added that we had missed off. Apologies for that. Just to let you know that no accountability forms have been received, and they're required, the applicants are required to report back with an accountability form within 6 months.
Okay. So have we got some accountability for some of the ones 6 months
No,
ago?
we haven't
in
had
May?
any this month. Yeah,
Right,
not this
it's not that they haven't sent it, we just don't have any.
we haven't had any
Right, okay,
received to present this month.
that's all right. So we didn't give any discretionary fund in May. Okay,
Unless they've come back earlier.
yeah, true, okay. How do we keep an eye on that? Because it can slip away pretty quickly.
We have a process.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, okay,
Yeah.
good. That's good. Okay, so did I have a mover? Just quick. Excellent.
Yeah.
I'll second it. Yes, sir. All those in favour? No. Yes. All right. That brings us to the Waka group. Waka group.
Through the chair, I think this brings you to the end of your agenda.
Okay.
Okay, we can walk group presenting a close work.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate this inaugural meeting going as smoothly as it did, and I'm looking forward to working with everybody as a board. I think we've got a good opportunity to really kind of get back to the community and back to the grassroots of what we want to do. I have a list of ideas that I'd like to present at some point, and I suggest we all kind of throw our ideas in that have been talked about to you from the community, from other people, then write them down. No ideas too stupid. Okay, stupid ideas are welcome because they can be brilliant ideas actually. So yeah, let's see what we can do as a team. This training I'm looking forward to a lot. And, yep. So I'll move over to Steve to close with karakia. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Kia hiki te korero, kia wātea ki mama te manawa o te tangata. Kia uki te ala o tātou e ora nei, ko runga ki runga, ki na tina, huia, tāna ki.